This is Chapter 25, Writing and Voice, by Kayla, Evelyn, Maribee, Marcos, and Lisa. The next few slides will discuss Peter Elbow's advice on how to strengthen one's voice and power in writing. Moving away from the examples of respected intellectuals, we'll invite writers to develop their unique voice. Elbow's interest in the definition of voice began in an autobiography class that he taught. He made his students free write 15 pages a week. Free writing is often defined as a babbling, incoherent, independent form of writing, and he even admitted that many of the passages that he read were poorly written. However, he would comment on the sections that he felt possessed power and strong voice. Elbow also hypothesized that free writing allowed students to write about something important to them, which allowed their voice to shine. Some of the effects of his positive feedback led to students developing a mindset that is aware of their writing, remembering more about the topic, developing a pleasure of writing that allows them to more easily and more consistently generate a strong voice. Some drawbacks include students writing at a lower level and withdrawing from writing for an audience. He ended up with a definition of voice by calling power juice, which is a combination of magic potion, mother's milk, and electricity. He felt like this was still unclear, so he concludes that it is essentially where the words capture the sound of an individual on the page. Peter also emphasizes that voice has sound, texture, rhythm, and life that reflects the author. Readers can easily recognize the voice of different writers due to unique traits and techniques. Through the process of revision, one may lose their strong voice, but they must work with correct grammar to maintain their ideals. Having no voice, on the other hand, lacks any form of sound or presence. It resembles the writings of a bureaucrat or engineer, boring and unattached.
Real voice. Some pieces of writing can have a lively voice with personality, but can easily drift into an artificial persona. The lack of energy, individuality, and rhythm develops from one's tendency to overthink. For example, one might represent themselves differently at work than how they act with friends or at home. Developing a real and lively voice comes from a writer's acceptance of who they are. Real voice and bad writing. Real voice and bad writing. This section explains Elbow's emphasis on how writing should come naturally rather than be a burden. There will always be days where your writing will not exhibit your best work, but you should learn from this in order to strengthen your voice and become more skillful. A writer's real voice is something that has influence, that exhibits the writer's thoughts and is properly transmitted to the reader. Conclusively, his interest in voice began in an autobiography class he taught where he learned the importance of this device. Unique voice can point a picture of the author's. However, one must work to maintain their voice after many revisions. Forming each word, using harder words, and using correct punctuation are processes used to ensure power in writing. Writers evolve their writing to adjust to different audiences, but this causes their real voice and personality to be covered. This impersonal style lacks power and resonance. Voice further assures writers that the search for their voice may require bad writing and mistakes.
Thank
The
you.
end.